GM has slammed the brakes on their EV trucks. Now, they may deny that it's not the end of electric vehicles, but for years, Americans have been told the future of driving is settled. It's electric vehicles that would take over and gasoline engines would fade away. And anyone questioning the timeline was anti-progress. That narrative just took a direct hit, and it came from General Motors. The company has indefinitely delayed the next generation refresh of its electric trucks and SUVs. No new deadline, no confident roadmap, just a quiet admission that the plan isn't working the way Washington or the automakers themselves promised. And let's translate that. The market isn't cooperating. After pouring billions into electrification, GM is now sitting on $7.6 billion in EV-related losses from 2025 alone, including a massive write-down tied to scrapping production plans and battery commitments. At the same time, EV sales have dropped 43% in the fourth quarter after government incentives, well, they dried up, and we've talked about that. It turns out when the subsidies disappear, so does that big chunk of demand. Take away the money, and the sales go away with it. And while EV inventories pile up, GM is doing something far less glamorous, but far more telling. It's doubling down on gas-powered trucks. Silverado, Sierras, the ones that sell, the ones that you want. The vehicles politicians love to demonize are the same ones keeping the lights on, because that's what Americans are actually buying. They love GM trucks. This is the part policymakers don't want to admit. You can regulate, you can subsidize, and you can mandate all you want, but you cannot force consumers to embrace a product that doesn't meet their needs. Electric trucks still come with the trade-offs that matter in the real world, not in press releases. They're expensive, range drops when you tow, insurance policies are higher, and charging infrastructure is inconsistent at best and non-existent in some areas of the country, especially outside major metropolitan areas. And charging times still don't compete with a 5-minute fill-up at a gas station, and you can leave with a soda and a bag of chips. And now the bill for ignoring that really is coming due. GM's flagship EV facility, Factory Zero, has already seen shutdowns and workforce cuts. Production volumes for high-profile electric models remain underwhelming. Instead of ramping up, GM is scaling back, which is actually smart business. They're delaying programs that were once central to its all-electric future. Let's call this what it is, a strategic retreat. Not because EV technology is useless, not because innovation has stalled, but because the timeline was never grounded in how people actually live, drive, and spend their money. For years, the auto industry was pushed into a corner. Build EVs at scale or face regulatory consequences, so they did it. They spent, and they spent big. But consumers didn't follow on cue. Now the same companies that were racing to meet political deadlines are pivoting back to profitability, back to demand, and back to common sense. That really is common sense. Make what people want. It's a duh factor. And here's the uncomfortable truth for architects of this agenda. Affordability matters more than ideology. And when EVs cost more, when infrastructure lags behind, when performance doesn't match expectations, consumers don't adapt. They wait, they keep their cars, and they don't buy new ones, and they keep what they have much longer. Or they buy what works, which right now is still overwhelmingly internal combustion and hybrid choices. GM's move isn't an isolated event. It's part of a broader industry correction that's been building for months. I've been talking about this for years. Automakers are quietly scaling back, delaying investments, and reassessing timelines that were never realistic to begin with. And believe me, I took a ton of heat for this. The electric future isn't canceled, but it's no longer on a government-imposed fast track. And that's what I've been talking about. You get to make the choices. It's being dragged back to reality, where consumers, not regulators, decide what succeeds. And right now, the verdict is clear. The EV revolution isn't dead, but it's indefinitely not in charge. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.